that much of a break. The Cavs coming off a win at Atlanta Friday night despite their rash of injuries. And Denver right now 30-19, Dorth. That's the best record this franchise has had at this point of the season in better than 20 years.
Yeah, despite the Cavs being wounded, they have pieced so much for this club. And his questions about his ability to win games in the fourth quarter, which were floated early in his career, Dan, are over now.
Well, and Denver going to work right now on that matchup with Eric Snow giving up about 5 inches. Anthony Carter will and hits the side of the backboard on the 3. Hughes with a look ahead for James, who keeps it in play. This may be a game of pace. Denver wants to get up and down. Well, there's a little up and down for you right there. Is that in Mike Brown's playbook?
I was going to say that's not.
And Anthony right down in the post. Here comes the double team, courtesy of LeBron, and Anthony misses the jumper. But nobody there to get the rebound for the Cavs. Lob inside, and Anthony slams it home. There may not be a team in the NBA that uses much as the Nuggets. LeBron!
Part of the season with a ton of West Coast road games. Yet, they have put together enough of a run to put themselves in a position.
Iverson off to Martin, and he slams it and is fouled. And right now, the guys like Snow and Newble, and off the bench, the likes of Damon Jones and others will all be asked to step up large for the guy for the Cavs in recent games, playing anywhere from shooting guard up to center. Nice feed inside from LeBron James. Now Carter on James, Anthony on Snow, switches off onto Hughes. They're switching on the perimeter and laying it in effortlessly with the left hand. LeBron James and solid from the weather outside on their way in. It's snowing here in Cleveland. Oh boy, that'll get him going.
Just a great find from Larry Hughes. And again, his speed. I know there's some great guys on the open floor. Monta Ellis, one of the best, but LeBron will surprise you getting out there.
Yep. Well, built like a linebacker, but with the speed of a defender. Iverson with Hughes on him. The step back jumper. How about that?
So pretty. You got to give him a cushion, Dan, because he's so good. You give him a cushion to take away the drive, and he does that to you.
Averaging almost 27 points per game, third in the NBA. Meanwhile, the Cavaliers have missed their last 6 shots, and Anthony beats everybody in the white jerseys back down the floor. Up here on ESPN after us. Iverson with the steal in the lay-in.
He is so good at anticipating defensively, whether he's shooting the gap.
Not slowed down a bit. Playing a ton of minutes among league leaders in steals, scoring, assists. There he is from the corner, knocking down a jumper as Snow and Carter go tumbling near the Denver bench. It's an 11-0 run for the Denver Nuggets, and Allen Iverson is leading the way. And with a doubleheader on Thursday, Miami at Chicago, and then Dallas at Phoenix. Then it's the All-Star break. Be interesting to see if Shaq can get into a game or two before the All-Star break as Anthony knocks down a jumper. But it'll be fascinating to see how the Shaquille O'Neal trade pans out for the Phoenix Suns.
An interesting story in Phoenix about the training staff for the Suns and how good they are. And it's a fountain of youth, perhaps, for Shaq.
How about that? Wow. These two guys can play together. Allen Iverson, the assist. Carmelo Anthony.
Signed, given a big contract, supposed to be the sidekick to LeBron. I don't know that it's worked out for him the way he hoped.
Boy, Anthony finding a ton of room. Looked like the Cavs went zone there, and Anthony just... Talking about the All-Star Blues, worried about how a team is going to play in the days leading up to the All-Star break if everybody's minds are getting a little bit ahead of themselves. An interesting lineup in here for the Cavaliers right now. And again, because of the injuries, Mike Brown.
He is willing to cancel those and make an appearance in New Orleans.
Well, you know, it's good to have a fallback plan, and Barbados sounds like a pretty good idea this time of year. Anthony gets the friendly bounce, and Carmelo's having a big night with 15 already, as Doris mentioned. Remember, 49 on Friday night against Washington.
He's mixed and matched. He hasn't done it all in the post-up. It's been the jump shot transition.
Kevin Brown, the no-look feed off to LeBron, elevates and knocks down the baseline J.
We make a decision with LeBron. Is he a passer? Is he...
When he was checking in Seattle and didn't have his jersey on under his warm-up.
That really... LeBron enjoyed that moment.
Oh, boy. It was the first time he had played in a long time. Iverson, he could foul on Kleza. Beat Atlanta by 5 in Atlanta on Friday night. They had Gibson in that game. They don't, and they hope to have Gibson and Gooden back in their next game. LeBron for 3. The beard look is in now. San Antonio's growing beards on their rodeo road trip as Carmelo simply cannot call just before the timeout, so LeBron will knock down the free throw. Udonis Ilgauskas is back into the game, and the bench going to go at least that far until the two teams meet as Iverson shreds the defense yet again.
Rick was thinking what I was thinking. This team, it makes it that much harder to come with a double. And if you do, guess what? The guy's going to the rack, and he's going to set somebody else up.
And they seem to be able to make it work, whether Iverson is
hit, because he came back down the floor holding that left wrist that Rick Bucher talked about. Now, he's got a lot in his arsenal, but when LeBron James decides to attack the rim, I don't think there's anyone who can check him.
Iverson may have a loose, and he missed an easy deuce, and he had Marcus Camby to worry about as well. And at the other end, Smith, who should only play against the Cavaliers, evidently.
You don't like the energy or the body language coming from the Cavaliers?
Trying to use the screen. Ilgauskas slips it and lays it in.
That's the passing ability I was talking about. And because he's got to do so much scoring, you haven't seen a lot of that yet. But this is LeBron James. How about no spacing? The ability off the pick and roll to shred the defense. Folks, this is an incredibly tough pass made to look easy. That is beautiful.
The Suns. Again, Shaq is not likely to play. He will be there. He's hoping to come back a little bit later on in the week. Washington, a team that was playing great, but recently with their injuries, they have struggled. J.R. Smith, he should battle scar. What's the deal, Rick?
Well, it's actually from a teammate. Udonis Ilgauskas caught him with an elbow in their last home game. And as a result, he's hurting a little bit, but not affecting his vision as far as his defense, certainly.
And during that game, he got stitched up, and he's a hockey player. Came back in and got right back in the game. Seemed to bother George Karl, but that one did. And it court right before the game and talking about the upcoming Duke Carolina game last week. Carter with a miss. Camby with an alert tap back out to Martin. Wide open for three. Allen Iverson.
Boy, second chance opportunities. Just another one there.
Four of arguably the top 7 players for the Cavaliers are in street clothes tonight. And Iverson with a beautiful feed. Ilgauskas never saw it coming as Martin lays throws. That's nice. The guy got the business end of an Ilgauskas elbow, and then he's got to take some abuse on top of it. LeBron knocks down the long deuce.
I think
Camby. Marcus Camby from Toronto to the Knicks, now his 6th year in Denver, and arguably having one of his best seasons. He's got 10 rebounds already tonight. Carmelo Anthony, and again with snow on him, that's a shot if he wants free throws. Dwayne Jones with the offensive rebound, feeds LeBron. Last time, or the first time Carmelo played against LeBron, back when they were in high school, LeBron may have been close to 6'8", but he was no 250. A couple of big, strong guys, but LeBron, again, with the strength of a linebacker and the speed of a defensive back as he bears down on him.
Here's the scary thing about LeBron. 1/3 of the rookies in the league this year, I don't think you can disagree with the second part. Most hyped player ever to enter the NBA? That's the first part.
Certainly in the last generation or so, yeah.
He's exceeded expectations, which how rare is that?
Well, you know what's interesting? When Rick Bucher did the interview with him in the locker room before the game, and LeBron was talking about himself and Carmelo, he said, we both the league leader in that department. Jones had to force it up there with a 1 on the shot clock. Denver in transition. Iverson gets inside and knocks it down. A nice soft 12-footer there from Allen Iverson.
He's had a heck of a game. And Jeff Van Gundy has been around this league for
the first half. They're at 49% right now. Iverson all the way to the rim, misses it. The follow, though, is good for Carmelo Anthony. Good show there by Ilgauskas. Shot clock at 4. Gonna have to be Iverson. How about that? He is having some kind of night.
That is ridiculous.
Iverson with points, 10 assists, and no turnovers tonight. LeBron at the end of the crime. Carmelo Anthony is at the line right now. Carmelo's got 23. Iverson's got 22. A 2003 draft that was discussed at halftime with Carmelo Anthony going 3rd, LeBron 1st, Chris Bosh 4th, Dwayne Wade 5th. Some kind of crop. And possession.
They're getting crushed on the offensive glass. And those are effort opportunities right there by Denver.
And coming into the game, Cleveland, statistically, a better rebounding team than Denver. But again, they're without Varejao and Gooden. Can be all night long. Dwayne Jones got a piece of that shot. Iverson goes flying, trying to buy a call that he doesn't get. Now LeBron with his eyes on the rim. You can feel it. You can sense it when he was going to deter him right there. He's got 30.
The great players have hyper-competitive drives, and you get the sense watching this guy. He's got that hyper-competitiveness.
He's known from very early tonight that he would need to have a phenomenal night for his right to the Cavs. They'll see Greg Popovich Wednesday here, but tomorrow night, Cleveland is at Orlando. That's not an easy game, obviously. And an injury-depleted team, maybe Gooden, maybe Gibson tomorrow night, but definitely no Barry. They were outclassed pretty much from the get-go tonight by the Nuggets. Iverson now with 23 points, 12 assists, and no turnovers. What a great night.
Incredible at the pace they play. The number of times he pushes the basketball, the number of times this guy ventures into the paint, that he could go without turning it over.
Stood up probably about the second possession of the game, Doris, and they really went to work on it.
Went right to the box.
Glazer fading away.
Losing your team for that stretch run.